Hola Colchoneros, welcome back to Atleti Fanatics, and we are back and with a stoppage time winner as well, with a classic header from José María Giménez, which I didn't expect at all, to be honest, because again we scored from a set piece. Really, is this us? I didn't expect it at all, but again it came, and again, especially against a team who has conceded like just one goal throughout
Mm.
the Champions League season, and they conceded 2 goals against us. So I'll send Keys take the lead right now, for some obvious reasons. So
Yeah,
send
yeah,
Keys, go
yeah.
on, take on.
Sure. There's so much to talk about in this game. I think this is I think we were almost a bit too brief. I think in our preview when we talked about it, but when you everything that we broke down. So we talked about possibilities, who could have started. We didn't get the information that Nico didn't train the day before, so that's why he also didn't start this game. So we were assuming that Nico was going to start for sure. We were assuming that we call it Juliano wasn't going to start. We were assuming that there was a possibility that Hanko would have been left back. That was a possibility, and these other things. Did anybody correctly guess that Cardoso would start a UCL match right after 5 games with no sort of minutes at all, straight from injury? Um, and he comes in and has a wonderful game, mind you. Gallagher also came in the midfield. I think we did almost like a 4-3-3 at times in the game. So when you look at this game, it was a great game because I think Simeone put everything that he could do in terms of his starting lineup to say, this is what I can do to attack Inter Milan, where they can hurt, all these other things. And while I think we were a bit lucky for the first goal, I'm not really surprised that we did score the first goal. And again, every time that we've played in the Atleti home stadium, we're always the first one to score. Um, and then also, I get too sidetracked. Let's start with the starting lineup. Right, this is a lot to break down. So the backline of Ruggeri, Hanko, Jimenez, Molina, a decent backline. There was the obvious what do you call it? The obvious fear of Molina considering his form. That there was this potential liability on the right hand side. But by
He was good though. He was good though. I didn't see any liability on the side. I think like Molina had
right,
like a good game. Molina had a good game.
yeah. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. So it's like he started off a little bit shaky, where Demarco had like 2 chances in like the first 5-10 minutes or so. From that point, but he was still doing good point moments in terms of the runs. He had a really good ball into Alvarez. He just kind of flubbed the lines a little bit, Alvarez. I think that was a very good chance, to be honest with you. But when it came to what, um, when it came to as the half continued going on, Molina went from a little bit shaky to very comfortable, and you saw he was arguably one of the better performers in the first half. He went from not great to, by the time the first half was done, it was really, really good in terms of overall performance. And I think it, despite that, you also see the real impact that Giuliano has as soon as he comes in. He's not 100% fit. He just came off of an injury sort of thing. He couldn't play the last game at all. He had no minutes in the last game. He came in, immediately changes how we played the right hand side. We saw last game against talk to me. Was the last game?
Levante.
Levante, the last game we played? No, Getafe, right?
Getafe, did he play? Yeah, again. Wait, hang on. Did he play against Getafe? Because again,
He
it was
did not. No,
Lorente.
he did not play Getafe. I'm saying last game we played with against Getafe, our right hand side was atrocious because Giuliano and Llorente were not there, and yet you see the impact of just Giuliano today in that first half. The runs, the ability to find players, the ability to create and force chances from his pressing. And this is a Giuliano who looks around 60-70% of his usual level. This is a very immense player for us. I think when you look at what he's been doing this season, you kind of have to say he's just, if he's fit and he's available, you play him, right? The only reason you don't play him is if you think maybe you should rest him and you think that the level of the team is low, the other team is low enough that you could rest him. That's the only reason. At any point in time, you just have to play him. And it showed today. Gallagher started off in the midfield. I thought it was a 4-4-2, but it seems there was a lot of different formation switches. It did start off as a 4-4-2. It didn't end as a 4-4-2 in the first half. There were moments where we were doing a 3-3-4. There were moments we were doing a 4-3-3, as I just mentioned. There were moments we did a 2-3-5 when we were in possession. A lot of different things happening, depending on the situation at hand. And that shows Simeone today got it completely and utterly tactically correct. Not only that, though, Cardoso was very good in the first half, being able to get those second balls. And you could see, even though all of the things I just mentioned, a lot of the new players or the players who are coming in from limited minutes. So Molina started off shaky, got a little bit better. Gallagher, a little bit shaky at times because doesn't have complete minutes. Giuliano, same thing. Cardoso, same thing. Cardoso had a few line-breaking passes that were really good, but they just weren't in sync with his teammates because he hasn't played with them in terms of match fitness in a while. So that Baena's first half, which was good. Alvarez, Barrios at moments, my word, magical player. Magical. I can't believe he came from our academy. But yeah, like great stuff. And then there was even moments where Hanko did a Trivela pass from a throw in. I was like, why are you on your right hand side? You're on left side as center back. Go back to your But we could have scored from that and all. And then Ruggieri was really, really good today. I think we'll talk more on that in maybe the second half or when we're talking about the halves. But I think in terms of our lineup, this was a shock because I didn't expect this kind of lineup. I didn't expect this kind of impact, and I didn't expect this thing. And Musso was brilliant as well. I think this was very little I could say negatively, especially in the first half of the lineup. Anything you want to add on that? Or?
No, I mean, like, we predicted this, like, defensive lineup, like, like with Molina, Giménez, Hansko, Ruggieri. We kind of predicted this in the preview of the match. So, but like the midfield and the front two, like I knew like Julián Álvarez and Alex Baena can be the key to unlock this Inter Milan defense because again, like like with the crosses and everything, I think it's way too easy for Inter Milan to like to deal with it, even though they conceded with a set piece. But I think again, I was really surprised by the way, like they didn't start Acerbi. Inter Milan. They didn't start Acerbi. I was really surprised, like they didn't go for him. And I was
in
also
retrospect, it probably was the right decision because Akanji was kind of Akanji and what do you call it? We call Jan Bisek were catching the runs of Alvarez and Giuliano. It should be would have been done. That wouldn't have been a 2-1 game. That would have been much worse. So
true. Yeah. But again, I like even for like like I was really surprised with the way they didn't start Marcus Thuram as well. They started with Boni.
yes.
Exactly.
Was
So
good.
that was a
It was really
yeah.
good.
Who was good? True.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Marcus Thuram again is like the lead attacker for Inter Milan right now. For me, that was a surprise as well.
He
And
hasn't scored since like September, so there is that kind of part of it too. We're
but
at the end of
still,
November, so
yeah, but still, Marcus Thuram. I mean, like again, like if let's say like if Marcus Thuram was playing for our team, like would you leave him on the bench? Would you? I don't think so.
maybe. I mean, what Inter really lacked today, objectively, was clinicality. I think
True.
Lautaro
And
was not really present in this game. Thuram with the team
yeah,
on was very impactful, but you could
true.
see he wasn't quite 100%. Bonnie had his moments, who was really good, by the way. But you would expect more from your attackers, and they put on from start to finish. They had like 4 attackers, so it's just like I don't know.
True, but anyway, I mean, I'm like you mentioned this in the preview of the match as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
Juan Musso again, like like we said this, like after a very very long time, we have a second choice goalkeeper who is very good. Like who can actually like be a replacement for Oblak. and Juan Musso has actually like proved it in this match. Juan Musso was very good in the first half, no doubt, no doubt. Like the goal he conceded, like I can't really blame him because again that was a very classic move from Inter Milan with a 1-2 with
on
Zieliński
wings.
and
Yeah.
yeah with Zieliński. I can't really blame anyone. That was a classic move from Inter Milan. That was a very very good goal from Inter Milan. Can't really blame anyone. But again, even before that, Juan Musso actually saved us in this match. He kept the scoreline at 1-0 because Inter Milan had very good chances as well. And again, I would say again, I mean, like we'll talk about the second half obviously later on, but the first half, I think after the goal we scored, we kind of like stepped back. We didn't really create much, and this is the way I think like we should have I think like stepped on as well to like to get more out of the game instead of like stepping back. But again, it is what it is. We just like set back. We just like kept on defending and defending, and we did defend well. Like, don't get me wrong, we did defend well. Molina had a good game. Jimenez has an extraordinary game for me, to be honest. David Hansko
Great
again,
team.
very good. Mateo Ruggeri again, a very good game. I wouldn't be surprised if there was Raspadori playing as well, because again, Raspadori again he played in Serie A with Napoli, and again he has experience of playing against Inter Milan. But again, Gallagher as well. Gallagher, I have no complaint with Gallagher as well. I think he had a very decent game as well. Even though like we know like today the news came in like Atleti would accept a 30 million offer for Gallagher as well.
Oh, I forgot to
But
mention that. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
but Gallagher had a good game. Gallagher had a good game.
and from Mateo Moretto too, so that's as reliable as it gets. So that means that
Exactly,
you're actually looking serious. Yeah, telling him.
exactly. Gallagher had a very good game, and Johnny Cardoso again. We were literally crying about like he had just 3 games, in this season, and he just came into this important game against Inter Milan, and again he actually had a very good game with the second balls, with the winning, and like playing those through balls and trying to create some chances. Pablo Barrios again, chef kiss if you want to say, like seriously, this guy is like our own Petri in a way, to be honest, because this guy has been phenomenal. And I mean like it's very very good that like we have tied him for until 2030. He has renewed his contract, which is very good. Julian Simeone, who was a doubt for this game. Again, I told you St. Keeks, right? Like, like if we want to beat Inter Milan, it has to be pace. And how
Yep.
did we get the first goal? How did we get the first goal? The
Pace.
pace. Exactly. There you go. And but anyway, again, Julián Álvarez and Alex Baena, again, a perfect start, I would say, because again, we predicted this as well. Because again, if we want to beat Inter Milan, it has to be in a technical way. We can't go with with strength to this Inter team, because I expect Sol Acerbi to start. So I think like Sorloth with Acerbi and Bastoni, it won't it won't make much more of a difference. But Alex Baena and Julian Alvarez, it would be much more technical. But yeah, I was really happy with the starting lineup. I had no complaints at all. With the first half, like we had a good start. We scored the first goal, which was again ruled out because of the handball. And I was waiting actually because again, referees in the Champions League against us is like they're looking for excuses.
I think this
And
referee was very good though.
true,
I think there's very little I could really complain about. I think the fact that he called the handball after the goal went in, just to give the possibility that if it was a legal goal, you could always call it back. Right? The fact that in the second half, when Giuliano got riled up by Akanji, instead of letting it happen and giving both players a yellow card and all this other nonsense, he just ran into Giuliano and was like, "Hey!" and stopped him immediately. I was like, "This is it." It's like I'm watching this and I'm like, "Oh, so referees can actually do stuff like that." I forgot because I watched Spanish football, but really
he's
good
French, right?
referee.
Like if I'm not wrong, he's
Yes,
French,
yes,
right?
he's
He's
French.
French, yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, he had a good game.
Really good game. Yeah.
Again, good shout out to the referee as well. He had a good game, and again, good. Like he delayed the decision. He let the game go on, and then he let it decide to the VAR, and then VAR decided like this, it was no handball. And then again, Julián Álvarez again. Julián Álvarez in the Champions League, he has been producing goals for us. Like, like even if you want to call it tap-ins or whatever, but he has been there, like, with the tap-ins and everything. He's there
The
for us.
what you need, I think you can't say what you can say whatever you want, right? But the Champions League is a very low match tournament, right? It's small amount of games, and these small games are differential. We needed this game. Inter didn't need this game to stay in their top eight race. We needed this game, right? Like we have two losses and two bad losses, mind you, but two losses, and we have two good wins. But this is a win that we need. With this win, right, you now have to look forward to PSV, who, who destroyed Liverpool today, by the way. Hilarious.
Exactly. Like I'm really surprised. Like, how did we lose 3-2 to Liverpool? PSA destroyed 4-1.
Well, that's a talk for another day. Like, when we talk about we have PSV to look forward to. We have Galatasaray away, not an easy game. Also a team that Liverpool lost to. Um, and then we have, what do you call it? We have two more games, right? For the last two games,
Galatasaray, PSV, Bodo.
we have Bodo Glimt at home.
Yeah, at home.
Oh,
Yeah.
life, food, boy. But anyway, yeah. So we don't have that many games left in terms of the Champions League, and we need to we needed to accumulate as much points as possible. I think we win two more games, we're guaranteed to go through. I don't know if even if we win all three games, we're guaranteed to be top eight.
We
Considering,
are we are on the 12th position right now. We have 9 points,
yes,
and the top eight. I think the closest, if I see, like the eighth position is with 10 points. That is Sporting
Sporting.
with 10 points. Again, it is reachable. Again, I think we just have to win 2 games with Bodo. I think that's a guaranteed win, and either Galatasaray or PSV. We have to get a win in either of these two away games.
The inherent problem is we don't completely control our destiny here because Dortmund, Chelsea, City, Atalanta, all around the same 10-point margin. So it's like we
True.
kind of have to hope that they make mistakes throughout that period of time. I was hoping Chelsea would have dropped points against Barcelona. Barcelona played a really terrible game and they dropped points. So, and Dortmund, for instance, I was hoping Villarreal was gonna. I think Villarreal played better than Dortmund when I was watching it,
I
but
mean,
it didn't
it
work
was
out.
very unfortunate. Like they got the red card with Juan Foyt.
Yeah,
I can't really blame Juan Foyt because again, like he was trying to save the goal, but like he hit it over here somewhere, and that was very unlucky for me, to be honest. Because again, like
yeah.
it's not really like
But as the rules, you
concrete.
have to. You can't stop a goal scoring chance with your hand.
True,
That's a
true,
direct red.
true.
Yeah,
That's a red card for sure. But again, that was very unfortunate because again, it
yeah,
hit
yeah.
it over here somewhere, and then that
Because
was
if it
very
hits the
unfortunate
shoulder,
for
that's
him.
just a great. That's just a great block. You know. Yeah.
Exactly. But again, like he hit it over here.
We're
That was
getting
very
sidetracked.
unfortunate
The,
for.
the point
Yeah, but
is, right,
again,
this was a must-win game, like a
the,
must-win game. So
exactly,
us
it was a
getting
must-win game, and we again the first half. Let's just talk about the first half. We create the first chance with Julián Álvarez, Alex Baena, and that's it. I can't really remember anything after that. Like, do you remember anything?
we had like two other chances. There was the chance before the goal where Molina put in a ball right onto Alvarez's feet. He got it right past. I believe it was Bastoni, and Alvarez kind of just ghosted past Akanji. That was a very good chance. I think if he got that with his left foot, he caught it properly, that was should have been a goal. I think there was another chance, but again, the Hanko chance where Hanko decided to do a Travella pass from a throw in, and nobody really put a foot up, but that was a really good chance as well. But outside of those two chances, maybe one or two with Giuliano, the potential penalty call with Giuliano was just past the player, and I think who was it, Bastoni or Akanji, put their hands on him to pull him back. Obviously, Simeone exaggerated it, but in earnest, that's probably a penalty because Giuliano was going to reach it. He's very comfortably faster than the other person, which is why he put his hands on him. But smart enough, he didn't hold on too long, so they didn't get a penalty. And we didn't do too much in the first half. To be honest with you, I think most of our chances really came in that second half where we did something much more special.
True. I mean, like we needed these 3 points because like next we have two straight away games in the Champions League, Galatasaray and PSV, and
Mm-hmm.
we need a win in either of these two. And again, like I'm pretty sure like we are making to the next round for sure. But
Mm-hmm.
if we want to make it to top eight, we have to get a win in either of these two. That's for sure.
I think you win all three to try and like fully hedge your bets. Like all of those other teams that we just mentioned could drop points from now to the end of the season of the
True. I mean,
2023.
I
So
mean, City plays Real Madrid, and then Chelsea. I think Chelsea will drop points in the next three games as well. And
yeah,
Sporting, I think they will drop points as well. So again, I'm just like keeping in the safe side because again, Galatasaray away from home. I think for me that's like the PSV again. It's a surprise. Like how the fuck they scored four against Liverpool? I have no idea
you got to watch that game.
because
They
I
haven't been.
have
They
like
have not been good in the what do you call it in the Champions League this season. To be honest with you, of the PSV games I've seen, they've scored goals. They've been really, and I mean really leaky in defense because they have moments where you look at them and you think to yourself, well, it should be an easy win. And rightfully, I think Liverpool should have had a very easy win today, and yet they didn't close down their flanks. They didn't do a lot of the basic things that they normally do quite well, although Liverpool is in a bad form right now anyway. And they did get heavily punished for it. 4-1 is an insane result, but all four of those finishes were not something to scoff at. That is arguably a game that should have probably ended maybe a 1-1, 2-1, or 2-2. This is not really a 4-1 game, but when your confidence is low and their confidence is high, margins can be created. So it now becomes another game that you have to win, and a game that you have to take seriously and you have to look at in a very hard sense. So,
true. I mean like USG Unions and Chirua,
mm-hmm.
if I'm saying that correctly,
You did.
they won against Galatasaray, and again they won at the home ground of Galatasaray as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if
And PSV.
USG can win at home at Galatasaray, we can do the same.
Mm-hmm.
But depends. I hope Osimhen is injured and like he doesn't get back to the team. I think we do have a chance. But again, like if you ask me, like if I'm happy with this win, of course I'm happy with the 90th minute winner and everything. But Senki, let's be real about this. Do you think like overall for the 90 minutes, are you happy with the win? Do you think that we dominate the match? Yes or no?
No, but I think once these subs came on, I think we were able to suffer a lot better than we did prior to those subs. I think the first half we were very comfortable. Well, obviously, okay, first 5-10 minutes, shaky. After that, for the first half, I'm not worried, right? But as soon as the second half came on, Chivu, I don't know what pep talk he told them or something, but they came out guns blazing, and they kept on really attacking the right hand side. And even though Molina, I think, had a really good half, that second half he was really out of his depth because Juliano was still coming back to help him. Byers was still coming back to help him, and he still was easily picked out more than once because the goal came, but it came after about three different chances from Inter Milan before it eventually came into a goal. And it was just like, yeah, well, that was coming. The subs should have probably came a little bit earlier because we kind of knew that the right hand side was our weaker side.
Not to mention, Juan Musa saved us as well.
Swan Musso had two, maybe three one-on-ones before that goal. And I'm just like, man, Simeone is not changing that in time. I'm a little shocked. But the subs that did come on, Pubil coming on for Molina, insane game, a completely different game. Both at right back and then eventually right centre back when the second set of subs came on.
I'll I'll,
Really
co-
good.
I'll come back to this. I'll come back to this because again, for me, again, I mean, you should go on. Then I'll come back. I mean, like we'll talk about
Sure.
the second half. Yeah, I'll come back to this. Please go on.
Yeah. So, well, the second half is more of a when you look at the difference, right? So it's like we did miss Cardoso's ability to off the ball in the second half. I think Koke can't really replicate that. But what we gained as a result was a lot more control that we didn't quite have at the start of the second half. So Gallagher, Cardoso, and Molina first are the first three subs. Pubil comes on. Simeone identifies the right hand side as a weakness. Koke has to come on to allow for the more control in the midfield. Nico Gonzalez comes on to to what do you call it, to change to a back five. So now, no, Nico Gonzalez came on in the first or second sub. No, first subs. So Pubil
No,
came
no, no,
on.
no, no. Nico Gonzalez switched to the left back position. Rogeri came off.
Yeah, so
Nico
left
Gonzalez
back at
switched to the left
first,
back. Yeah.
and then they switched up back five a little bit later on, where Pubil was playing as a right centre back. So he played centre back and right back throughout the game. But he was immense. You got to see, and it's funny because it's like Molina that was probably Molina's best performance this season, and Pubil to me was comfortably better, both on the ball, off the ball. When you look at his link up, shots, crosses, delivery, the ability to anticipate, his pace, everything was just like I feel bad because it's like I said all of this negative stuff about Molina. He had a really good performance, and yet it still didn't matter because Pubil was as good as I said he was. And so,
I mean, it's true. Like I was just coming back to this. I mean, again, we all know this. Like like if you need a replacement for Marcus Llorente, it has to be Beal. But again, for some reason, Simeone is insisting on Nahuel Molina. Again, no offense against Nahuel Molina. He had a very good game for me. I have nothing against Nahuel Molina in this match. Nothing. But for those 30 minutes, Pupil was definitely an upgrade on over Molina, for sure. So again, I think Mark Pupil definitely deserve a chance over Molina. But again, I can understand because again, Argentina doesn't have right back and Nahuel Molina need those minutes. I can understand, but in this way, you actually like we have a player in our bench we who can be a very very good player as a center back or as a right back as well. So you're literally wasting him. And let's see what happens in the winter transfer market. But again, Mark Pupil has to be in front of Molina. Like, come on.
I
Like,
think
I don't
I
get
think we'll
this.
see. We'll when we talk about the Oviedo game, we'll see what Simeone decides. But I think you kind of have to give Pubil minutes, probably a start, honestly, considering the level that he showed today. But more than that is also like the fact that people were saying, "Oh, well, he's not ready. He's not clearly. He didn't have a level. Why did we buy somebody from Segunda? He went from Segunda to
No, no,
Champions
no.
League
I
today.
that's
Yeah,
bullshit. That's bullshit for me. I mean, like this guy last season, this guy was playing with Almeria, and then again he had very good matches as well against Real Madrid as well. We remember the match against Almeria, where again, like like we all say,
that's
like
like two
Real
seasons ago.
Madrid.
That's 2 seasons ago.
That was two
Because
seasons ago. Okay, all right, my
Yeah,
bad.
because
But
Almeria got
again,
relegated and he was there for like 2 seasons.
2 seasons ago, fine. But again, Makubil, I think for me, even in that season, was very good,
I
very
agree.
good.
I think
And again,
it's just
he
Almeria's the only good selling, well, not only good, but like one of the few teams in Spain who can say, I priced my player like this because I think the player has its value. People were looking to buy Pubil in that same summer that we were talking about, right? That when he was playing really high level in Almeria, first division. And they were like, well, you can get him for 20 to 25 million. How you feel about that? And everybody's like, nah, we had no money for that. It's like, all right, fair enough. And we managed to get him 2 years later. But he was brilliant back then, and he was a real option, I think, as a young centre back / right back who could do a lot of different things that you really need to be able to do. And he's shown today again why it is that Atletico took the risk for a player again who's been 2 seasons in the Segunda. Straight, he just had half an hour in the Champions League against Inter Milan. Completely perfect in terms of not perfect, but like showing that he is more than capable to be a player for Atletico. He had a really good game against Turam. He had a great game in terms of being able to help with the team and different manners. So I speak too much about Pubil, but at the same time, I'm glad that Simeone decided to give him a chance in this time
True,
of this team.
true. I mean, I'm happy for Cardoso as well because again,
Yes,
I didn't expect Cardoso to start. Did you expect Cardoso to start?
not at all, not even a
No,
little bit.
exactly. That was a surprise. That was a surprise. And then again, Mark Rubio, again, I'm happy like he got minutes as well. And again, I think like he proved those 30 minutes he got because again, Mark Rubio was very good for those 30 minutes. And I'm really happy like we have a player like who can play as a center back and who can also play as a right back. And again, I didn't see any mistake from Mankubil for those 30 minutes he was on the field.
Hmm.
And he almost created a chance. And
With the
yeah, I
Griezmann
think
chance,
like
but he passed it right through the
exactly.
player, and then there
Yeah,
was
yeah,
also the shot outside the box.
true. And I think like he really deserves some more minutes over Molina for sure. But again, I can also understand like Simeone won't start him because again, now Molina needs those minutes for the World Cup or whatever. But again, if Molina leaves Marco Bill, I think again, like if we manage to keep him for the future, I think Marco Bill would be a very good player. That's one thing I think every Atleti fan should be excited for, that we have someone like Marco Bill. Because going forward, if he keeps this consistency of pace, defending, and the game awareness, he can be a very good player. So I think this should, like excite every Atleti fan that we have someone for the future as well, and who is committed to Atleti,
Hmm.
even though he's not getting minutes as like he should get, but still he's committed to Atleti. Like again, a shout out to Atleti stats as well. They had an interview with Marco Bill where he said very good things about this club and again going forward with this club again with the future of him and this club. And so again he like even you've gone with that interview. So
Yeah.
he's very committed to this club, and that's very good to see. And like Sengi, like like I've talked about this, like we need bullies in our team, and I feel Makubil is one of those guys who can actually be the leader of this defense line. Because Jimenez, we have Jimenez for what, like 2 or like 3-4 years maximum.
Mhm.
After that, like we don't really have a
We don't
leader
have
in
an
the
air in
defense line.
place. We don't have anything
Exactly,
in to
exactly,
really talk about it.
exactly. Monk Pubil can be that player. Monk Pubil can be that player.
In a sense, yeah, I think I could see that. I think I wanna also mention though. Um, I feel like I should have mentioned in the preview as well, but Inter Milan are a very good team this season, and I think right now they're going through something similar to what Liverpool went through last season, where you have a new coach coming in. He's inheriting a very good squad, and you kind of you can kind of coast by for the most part, tactically and otherwise, because a lot of things are in motion. But if you don't, the intangibles will come up, right? And it shows up so far this season for Inter Milan in the big games. Inter Milan has had, I think, five, maybe six big games so far this season, and I think the only big team that they've beaten is Roma, unfortunately. But the only big team they've played this beaten this season is Roma, and so you played Juventus, a bad Juventus, mind you, right? 4-3. You played what do you call it? What's the other team? You played Napoli, 3-1,
Napoli, Milano, and then
and then you
did
played
they
AC
play?
Milan. Then you
Yeah,
played
Milano, exactly,
yeah,
Milano.
yeah, yeah. What was the last one? Well, this is the most recent one as well, and it's like okay, it shows despite the fact that, and it thinks in every one of those games, Inter Milan played a very good game. It just is a lack of. I said like, any preview. The Inter is showing a real lack of clinicality when you really need push comes to shove. Lautaro isn't scoring. Turam hasn't scored in about 2 months now. Bonnie is a good player, but he really shouldn't be having this kind of responsibility as soon as he comes in. Pierre Esposito is 20 years old. He's not going to be that guy who scores 20, 30 goals in the season. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's what he is right now. But it's like, this is kind of a theme so far this season. And despite the fact that I think the Zieliński decision for the midfield was a very smart one. I think Zielinski would have been a better starting option than Sucic, despite Sucic having a very good season, because Zielinski can give you a lot more in terms of ball control and recycling, which is why they decided to have such a good high amount of possession in the first half, why they had these chances at the edge of the box. I would have been more comfortable. I would have been more comfortable if Oblak was here today, but Musso was very good despite the shots that they had outside of the box. So I don't really mind much of that. But
No, I mean, like you have to get to Musa as well. You have to get.
right, right.
I mean, like
So
he had a very good game for me. Like Musa was for me, like with the absence of Black, he had a very good game. I have
like
no complaints.
it's true. I just saying it's like outside of obviously the unfortunate injuries to Damian and Dumfries, that shouldn't have been such a wide. We have an injury to one of our fullbacks / wingbacks in Llorente too. So this shouldn't have been such a major issue for you in terms of that being such a differential. They had good centre backs. You had Bisek, Akanji, and Bastoni. Bastoni had a good game, although he was very much outpaced by Giuliano whenever that one-on-one happened. Bisek had a good game. Akanji had a good game, although Akanji was a little bit annoying in that second half and rightfully paid for it, whatever. But this is, I think, a very good Inter Milan, but I don't think Chivu is the guy to take Inter Milan to the next step. He's a very clear downgrade from Inzaghi, and Inzaghi already had his flaws, as we saw in the Champions League final. So
I mean, again, I mean, like this is their first loss in the Champions League. So
it
I mean,
is,
like,
and it may
I, ca-
seem like a very harsh thing for me to say, considering all of the things that you just like. There's a first loss, and it's still like top 3 in Syria and those other things. But I'm just
true,
saying that as a
true.
preemptive. I've seen this before. I've seen how this plays out. She was a good manager, not great, and I think Inter Milan is a great team. And you
True,
also
but
have
again, like I'll defend Inter Milan as well because I would say like again this is very early on in the season as well.
true.
Like you have a team which was unbeaten in the Champions League. You just got their like first defeat,
Mm-hmm.
and again with the manner like you conceded from a 90th minute winner from a corner
Yeah,
again. So like like if I speak
away
as an
from
Inter
home
Milan
at
away from
Atletico.
home, so yeah, like I can't be harsh on Kivo in this manner because again, like like it, the way you judge a manager is like how you play the game. Against Milano, AC Milan, they
Yeah.
played a very good game, but again they conceded that goal. They missed a penalty. The game would have been different if Chanahonglu scored the penalty again.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like I think like Kivu, I won't be too harsh on him because I think like it's very early on. I think again, if any Inter Milan fans are watching us, I would say give your team a time. It takes time. Like be patient with him because I don't see him doing a very bad job. Like Inter Milan's again is playing good football,
Mm-hmm.
and against us as well. Again, the second half, the way they started on an agenda. Like they have to get that goal back, and they did. Like I don't remember for the first 10-15 minutes Atleti doing anything. Inter Milan was all over us, and they got the goal back. And then we made those changes with Griezmann, Sorloth, and then Makubil came coming on as well. And then we started to have some momentum into the game. But I won't be harsh on Kivu right now. I think that he's doing a good job. And
I
again,
I say this
again,
because I
again, 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 again. Don't forget, Inter Milan just conceded one goal until
until
before
today.
this game.
True.
Exactly, and yeah, they just score. Atleti just scored two goals against them. So again,
I I'm just putting it out there. Those are my feelings on Inter Milan. I don't think they'll spiral because I think their sporting arrangement is a little too good for that to be the case. But um, I'm just giving it as a heads up of this is my opinion of the future of the prediction. Because I so far of my Champions League predictions in August, I'm pretty spot on. I said we would beat Union Saint-Gilloise. I said we'd beat Frankfurt. I said we'd beat Inter Milan. I said we had a chance against Liverpool. So said, so done. Of course, we unfortunately failed because Solot decided I don't really care about drawing us this game, and we can't concede. We can just concede from set pieces all the time. I think if we played Liverpool now, this would be a very different game. But I said Arsenal. I said was a guaranteed loss. I think I said we have a chance of winning all the other games.
Arsenal is a different team. I can't recognize Arsenal. They fucking defeated Bayern Munich 3-1. I can't recognize Arsenal at all.
I said it. I said we were going to lose.
This season, this season, Arsenal is a different beast. Like seriously.
Fair enough.
Like,
I just think, as much as they're in really good form right now and they're doing a really good thing. Every team is fallible. Every team has their flaws. Every team can be conceded against, and you can win against them regardless of where they are, home or away, and these other things. So it doesn't really matter in that sense. But I'm also talking about Arsenal in the sense of they're a very good team. They had a really good moment. They have a good manager, and I'm excited to see where they go. Maybe we'll play against them again in the Champions League, especially if we go through to the knockouts. I don't know if we'll fix all of the fundamental errors we have, but I think we would have a shot if we were to come back again.
I think at Metropolitano, maybe we have a chance, but Emirates, I don't think we have any chance against Arsenal, especially against the set pieces.
I think we have a chance. That's just me. But we've talked about the first half. We've talked about the second half. We talked about the chance creation. We talked about Griezmann. We talked about not really too much of Griezmann, although it was good. I think the only thing I want to note on the second half that I didn't mention is Nico. I think Nico was good defensively, but he was saving all of the errors that he himself made by poor decisions further up on the pitch.
No, I think like he had a very good second half. I think like when he when the substitutions came with Rogeri coming off and then Gallagher coming off. Again, I mean, like look on the bright side. Look on the bright side. We have an option, the left back. Nico Gonzalez played as a left back in the second half for the rest 30 minutes.
He was on left back at the starts, and then he switched to wing back, and it was him and Giuliano on with a back three of Pubil, Hanko, and Giménez.
Yeah, but again, the good part is like you don't have to see Javi Galan anymore. So you have an option over there with Nico Gonzalez and Mateo Rogeri and David Hasko. I think that's a very.
I'm not even sure if that's my solution per se, but again, that's a conversation for another.
True, and again, I won't be surprised. Like like when you again, the World Cup is coming this summer. Again, it's a long way, but still, I won't be surprised if I see Nico Gonzalez starting as a left back for Argentina national team in the World Cup.
I won't be shocked.
I won't be surprised at all.
I wouldn't be too shocked, to be honest. But I think Nico, it is a little frustrating because I wanted Nico to come in so that we could switch the back five and he could play as a wing back and we could have the midfield three of Baena, Barrios, and Koke. And I think it just didn't work out because Nico just wasn't really on it today compared to the last game in Getafe where he was very much on it. He just wasn't as wide as he needed to be. I think Griezmann directly scolded him. The first time the ball, Griezmann tried to pass the ball to him because he was trying to get to the width of the pitch. He was a little too infield, so the ball went out.
True. I saw that. Like Griezmann was saying, like you need to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was
it
saying
happened
like,
again,
yeah.
and then he made a very stupid mistake in terms of heading the ball into open space and then into almost thing. Like he saved it at the end, but that was his fault because he didn't listen to Griezmann, and it didn't change after that either. There was another moment in time where he was also a little too infield, but I can't really deny that he was good defensively.
At that point, I was thinking like maybe Griezmann, like the player is not right. Maybe you should play the pass, with
it's not now. The tactic is him being out wide. He has to be out wide.
I get it. Like we all saw this reaction of Griezmann. We all saw it on camera. Exactly. We all saw that, but
he was like. he was good in the sense of the defensive element, but it's like Ruggieri was actually overall just a good game. He was great defensively. He had chances that he was creating. His crossing was very good. So I think in retrospect, maybe it was better to just keep Ruggieri on and maybe put on somebody like a Raspadori or an Almada who would have probably changed the game in a different sense, giving a different type of tactical different like thing. Because it feels like I don't know if I would say it's a downgrade, but it wasn't really an upgrade either. It was kind of a nothing sub. It's like a lateral move.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game got so physical that like you needed the players like which are physical. For example, Sorloth coming on, and then again eventually Jimenez scoring the winner as well. So I think in that manner, I think Simeone got it right with Nico Gonzalez shifting to left back, and then players like Sorloth coming on, Griezmann coming on. So yeah, in that one, like it kind of made sense. But again, let's just take the opinions of like the post-match interview of let's Christian Chivu. What he says? So he says there's a lot of disappointment. We played a great game. Actually, the reaction in the second half was great from everybody, which again, we saw that from Inter Milan. They scored 1-1. We defended a little bit low, tried to counterattack, and misplaced some final passes that could have been better. Unfortunately, in that corner in the last seconds, we lost the game. I mean, Kivu, like it literally happened the same to us in the Liverpool game. So yeah, I mean, I can really understand. But again, he says more. In the Champions League, you always have difficult games, no matter who you play against. We still have three more games. We still need points in order to gain direct qualification. We will do our best. I think for me, for Inter Milan, this was not really like a must-win game.
It
For us,
wasn't.
it was a yeah. For us, it was a must-win game.
And
But anyway,
it showed in those moments, but in the later parts, I think from like 70, 75 minutes to 90 minutes, it was just all Atletico. You know what I
true,
mean?
true,
So
true.
that was the
Uh,
difference.
True. Let's just take the comments of Diego Simeone. So he says on the Jose Maria Jimenez goal, he says fantastic and the victory much needed after Simeone adds like that wasn't an easy finish. He has great timing. I mean, like we've seen this like on the set pieces. Jimenez is almost there, but like he's not able to like
Yeah,
finish it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like he's able to make contact with the ball, but like like he's not able to finish it. And then he said we need a goal like that because it always looks good when a center back scores. This goal gives us confidence to keep working and trusting in what we have, which is very good. We need to improve our set pieces. Wow. Finally, Simeone said it. We need to improve our set pieces. Wow.
He said it
It
a few
took
times already this season, but yeah,
but okay, he says more. We managed to hold on during the most difficult moments, thanks to Juan Musso, obviously. That's me saying, by the way, not him. Uh, but when Inter dominated possession, but as the minutes ticked by, we started to loosen up our players and close out a different game than the one it had started as. Okay. I mean, he knows like Inter Milan started had a great second half, but again, he says more. He says we had a plan which was to play a long, hard-working game with a lot of players trying to win the ball back and capitalize on counterattacks. We didn't have as many as we imagined, but we did have some. In the second half, we used the players we had available for that final push that came. We ended up closing out a very tough match against
hmm
opponents who play very well and have many different tools. And true, but again, there's comments from Jan Bisek as well. We conceded two or three shots and then two goals. It's not fair. But
right.
that's football. I'm happy with the team's performance. We did things well. There are things to improve, but I can't say anything bad about the team. It hurts badly. That's true. Did we actually like just had two, three shots?
No, that's no. We had
Because
15
I
shots and six on target. I don't know what he's talking about. We had three big chances. Griezmann could have scored twice in the second half alone. Right, there was one
true.
that was blocked by thing, and then another one that was just a bad shot. So I don't know what he's
True.
talking about, but most that's just like it's like you're fresh off a loss. I'm not gonna get him feel bad. I'm not gonna go too hard on him. He's right in the sense of like
Yeah, yeah.
played a good
Jan Bisek says more. Yeah, Jan Bisek says more. In football, it happens. Sometimes you give everything we didn't deserve to lose,
game.
but football is like that. We'll keep working, and maybe in the future we'll have a bit more luck.
Jan
Fair
Bisek is a
enough.
player who may be on the market in January, by the way, and it's somebody I think we should
We
probably look
should.
at.
We should. Yeah, yeah. We're not again. What are you thinking about? Like we're going after a black player? Like, come on, bro.
Oh man, that this summer window, awful, awful. This is gonna give us a terrible reputation forever. But anyway,
uh, anyway, again, there are more comments. This is from Boni, by the way.
mhm.
So he says, is speaking to Sky Sport, he says, it hurts, but it's part of the game. We raise our heads. You fall and then you get back up. We need to learn from games like this against a great team in such a tough environment. Fair enough. And yeah, I don't see any of the comments. Jose Maria Jimenez is the man of the match, and I think he deserved it as well for the winner of the match.
He was good in general too. So I think getting the winner just kind of cemented what was already a very good game.
True. Let's just get to the ratings now.
Sure, sure,
Okay.
sure.
Juan Musso, for me, he had a very good game. It's a
8, 9,
8, 8.5 for me, 8.5.
8.5.
Uh,
Molina, I think he was a 7 out of 10. I think he had a really good game, and yet he was
true,
still not good enough in the second half to
true.
withstand the onslaught of Inter.
I agree. Like just for the backlash, like he was getting throughout this season, I'll give him a 7.5 just because, like,
I
like it's
won't.
an important, it's an, it was an important game. I think like he had a very good time. I'll give him a 7.5. He deserves it.
Fair enough. We call it
Jimenez,
obviously.
Jimenez, Jimenez with the man of the match and everything. It's a 9 for me.
Fair enough. There's nothing to complain about.
David,
Anko, good
David
game.
Hansko,
Solid
good
7,
game.
7.5.
8. I'll give him 8. I'll give him 8. I think it was good.
Ruggieri,
Ruggeri,
great game.
Ruggeri, yeah, same as Molina, 7 or 7.5.
I feel like he was better, but all right. Uh, 7.5 it is. And then I
Uh,
think we'll go with the starting midfield, which is Barrios, Gallagher, Cardoso, and Giuliano. Barrios,
Giuliano is proving like why he's so
8.
important for us.
You can't
Again,
not have
Giuliano.
Giuliano on the pitch. 8. Bro,
Exactly,
uh,
exactly. I agree. I agree.
Cardoso,
I definitely agree.
little rusty
Cardoso, I
at
think,
moments at
rusty,
times.
but still a decent performance. Still decent performance. 7 for me, at least.
And
Barrios again, too good, too good. 8 for me. And then Nico
Gallagher,
Gonzalez.
Gallagher was a sub now. Gonzalez was a sub, bro.
Oh
It's
no,
Gallagher.
sorry. Gallagher. Gallagher.
6.57. I think he was
I
good.
think I think he was good, but like nothing extraordinary. So yeah, 6.5 is fair enough. Yeah.
And then obviously Alvarez and Baena both having a very good games. I think
Alvarez with scoring the first goal again. I'll say 8. Baina again with those like like trying to like control the momentum, trying to create chances and everything. I'll give him 7.5.
I think that was good. And then the subs, Solat. I okay.
I didn't see much from Charlotte. I didn't
He
see much from
wasn't
Charlotte to
bad,
be
but he
honest.
wasn't good either.
Yeah, I didn't see much from Charlotte
Six,
to be honest.
6 maybe.
Yeah, yeah, 6. Yeah.
Um, somehow managed to get about this. Not much to talk about. He had like 3 passes. Anyway,
Griezmann. What about Griezmann?
Griezmann had a good game. Griezmann had a few little shaky moments, but Griezmann, in my opinion, he should have probably scored because he had 2, honest to goodness, really good chances. But as Champions League Griezmann, you always expect more because of how good
Six
he.
point 6.5.
I think I'll give him a 7. I think he assisted the
7.
winner as well. This is a good game from Griezmann. Could have done
Okay.
more, but he was a good game. Nico Gonzalez, I will give him a 6 as well. I think he had some really good moments. He also had some really bad moments. And I think it kind of cancels itself out, but probably was best to not sub him in and keep Ruggieri on, to be honest with you. So 6. And then we call it Pubil.
Koke.
Koke was great. Koke came on and gave us a lot more control in the midfield after two midfielders came off, which was very funny to show how good he is. I think it's a 7 or 7.5 is probably fair. I think what he did for us off the ball in terms of organizing and the fact that if you look at our possession in the first half and our possession in the second half, two different games. So I think 7 is probably fair, maybe a 7.5. And
I think I'll give Griezmann a 7.5 or 7. Koke I'll give, I think, like with the minutes he had, I think 6.5 is fair enough.
then I'll probably give Pubil a 10. I'm joking. I am like a 7. A great.
No, I mean, like
great-
he had a good game. Yeah, I'll give him a
what a
6.5.
debut of a Champions League. You have half an
What
hour.
a debut of Champions League. True. I'll give him a 6.5 as well. But again, I think that he should have like more minutes. But again, I'll give him 6.5 because again, 30 minutes,
Great impact. I think
great impact for sure.
for he's just doubled his minutes of the season for Atletico. Yeah,
For sure.
great stuff.
Great stuff for sure. But anyway, for everyone who's watching us right now, do let us know your opinions. What do you think about the match, and who should be your man of the match, and how much would you rate the players, and how do I look in the new Atletico de Madrid home kit as well. And we have next up we have upcoming game against Real Oviedo, which is on the weekend, and it's a home game, and it's again I think it's a perfect game for us. Before Barcelona match, we can rest players up and we can play our second team as well. So again, until then, I would say just like and subscribe. And then if you're not following us on Twitter, you can follow us on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
Follow us on YouTube.
And
Subscribe.
yeah, subscribe, not follow. Subscribe us on YouTube. And then yeah, we'll see you guys on the weekend for the preview of the match against Real Oviedo, and we'll possibly have some guests as well. And also the guy who won the competition. If you're watching this video, again we've texted you. Again, check your DMs. Check your DMs. We'll see you guys soon on the weekend. See you guys soon. Until then, Opatleti. See you guys soon.